Hi lovies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today my topic is going to be about the day I got my appendectomy. So I hope you guys could like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment as well. And just stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna make this short, simple, and sweet, and hopefully it has like a message with it. So this is how what happened. So I used to work as like a bartender at this time, right? So my dumbass, I decided like, oh, I want to be a little healthy, so this is what I'm gonna do. Today I'm going to order like a freaking like kale juice, and I'll have like some fruits and stuff, right? So I have it delivered, and at this time I was bartending. So like I go to the back, I eat, and then at this time I was drinking really heavy, like really heavy. So I ended up putting this kale juice, detox juice, with the alcohol, and then I was drinking it all night. And then I wake up in the morning with sharp pain, like just sharp pain. At this point I didn't even realize like what was going on. I wake up with sharp pain. I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? I felt like I had the most constipation of my constipation life. And so I ended up going to the hospital. The first time I went to the hospital by myself, and I was in like so much pain, and they put me on morphine, and oh my God, it was just like, first I was screaming so much. I was just like, oh my God, doctor, help me. I feel like I'm going to die. Help me. Oh my God. And then they put me on like morphine, and then that's when I ended up like sleeping or whatever, right? So I think it was like 3-4 hours later, I woke up. After I woke up, they asked me like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. So at this point I didn't realize what was going on. So I came back to the house, and then at that time I was dating one of my exes or whatever, right? And I called him, and he was like, where are you? I've been calling you all day. And I was like, oh, I was just at the hospital, but I'm fine now. He was like, wait, what? And he was like, what happened? And I was just like, well, my stomach was like acting up, and I felt like I was so constipated, but it was like excruciating pain. And he was just like, okay. And mind you, this is a Monday, and he worked at this bank, but like he was a co-owner kind of thing or whatever. And then so he was just like, okay, I'm like planning a trip for us, so like we're gonna like go. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna go to work today. I couldn't go to work because I started feeling the pain after an hour of telling him. So he was just like, all right, I'm just going to like come over your house and like check up on you and see what's going on. So he came over the house, and then we ended up going to a store, and we bought like prune juice. He bought like prune juice, like a bunch of like stuff to make me like get my BM. And I was like, okay. So I ended up getting like the prune juice. I ended up eating like a lot of like fruits that will make me like take a dump. And oh my God, 3 hours later, after all this stuff, I had the worst diarrhea. Like it was like every freaking like 5 minutes. So I was like, oh my God, like what the hell did I do? Did I just make this worse? I swear I was fine. What did you just do? And then he was like, okay, tomorrow, like let just everything flash out, because his thing was, you have diarrhea, you have to make sure it all flashes out, and then it flashes out all like the toxins and blah blah blah, and then you're gonna feel better. And I'm like, all right. So I had diarrhea the entire night from like, I think it was like 9:00 p.m. all the way to 2 o'clock, like everywhere. I'm sorry guys, it's a little disgusting, but this is what happened to me. So skip to like the next day, we got everything fiber, we got everything crackers, whatever. And then after I came back, I ate all this stuff, and like 2 hours later I came back to constipation. I couldn't like take a dump anymore. And I'm like, okay, it's better not taking a dump, but this constipation is really bad, so like I don't know what to do. So then I was like, babe, I think I need to go to the hospital, because like my body is like really reacting. He was like, stop being a baby, I have to go back to work. Like he was like, I have to go back, like I have so many business calls. And like with him, he used to have like 2 different phones, like because everything was like, especially with bank, like everything is just like how do you call it? Everything that he had with like the bank and stuff was like classified information, whatever. So I'm like, oh my god, okay. So he'll go back, like he'll go right back, and then he was telling me like, okay, babe, I just have to go for a little bit, and then I will come right back. I have this really important meeting with some guy who came from like somewhere in the Middle East, and then I was like, okay. So he ended up like going back, and then he was like, is everything okay? And I'm like, babe, I swear I feel like I'm gonna die. It's just like, and he was like, are you acting like a child or are you like for real? And I'm like, I swear I really feel like this is not like a regular constipation diarrhea situation. Like this is like, I feel like I'm going to die. And then he was like, okay. So he had that meeting. He drove, well, in like New York, if there's like too much traffic, you could use like the plane, like it was like a helicopter, like a, now like it's so funny now after like 3 years they have like Uber helicopters and whatever, but before you used to have a like helicopter, you probably pay like 200, depending on where you're going, like $200 to $500. So then he used that telepad whatever thing to drive and like to get away from that crazy traffic, and then he came to he came to my house, and then I was just like, oh my god, I feel like it's just like so bad, I swear to god. So then he started like pushing me, and he was telling me like, you need to just go. No, first I had like it was weird. I had a constipation diarrhea, and I'm like, he was like, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to go to, like, because I would like diarrhea on the floor, and then like he would tell me, and I'm like, dude, I can't even control it, like what the fuck, like dude, I don't know what's going on. So I went back to the hospital, and then they asked me like, are you pregnant? I'm like, I'm not pregnant. And they're like, okay, let's try to do CAT scans, blah blah blah, whatever. So it's like the second time I went, because I went on Monday and then I went back on Wednesday. And then they were like, is there something that you ate? And I'm like, I didn't, like I told you the first time, like, well, I didn't tell them that I had like a kale like juice with like alcohol, but I did tell them that like I haven't been, because they asked me like, oh, have you been around? I'm like, well, I ate this and this, but I didn't think it was like bad dieting. So then we had a CAT scan whatever all day at the hospital, and I was so irritable, so I gave him an attitude because I was irritable. Like I was so irritable, like first I'm doing diarrhea, and then I'm constipated, I'm doing diarrhea, like I didn't have time to freaking think. So when he would ask me like, is everything okay, I would give him an attitude. Then he started telling me, you're so ungrateful, I can't believe you gave me an attitude. I'm like, dude, I don't even have time to think about a person. I'm damn near dying right now, like what the fuck. And then, oh, sorry for cursing. And then after the doctor comes and he looks at me like I'm about to die or something. I'm like, oh my god, it's just like I just looked at him and I'm like, is it my time? And then he was like, no, but I'm sorry to say this, but you have we have to do an emergency surgery because your appendix just ruptured. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, because I didn't know what these organs and stuff are. So I was like, oh my god, like I cannot believe this is happening. And he was like, surgery? I was like, surgery? I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even call my parents yet. Like and then I started freaking out, and then like I started like hyperventilating. I'm like, anything to take this weight away, but I have surgery. Oh my god, I was like going crazy. And then we went to like the operating place again. I think it was like upstairs or something. We went to the operating place. Oh my god, guys, it was just like so crazy. Like it was so crazy. I felt like, oh my god, I know, like I don't know if I'm gonna come back. And I started apologizing to him, and I was like, if I die, like can I start making my will now? I started saying stuff like this because I thought like I was gonna die, and like because everything that I see with surgery, God forbid, like I feel like people just like don't wake up. And then I was telling him like, what is your oh my god, I'm so stupid. I was asking, what's your certificate? I want to see your doctor's license. I want to see this and this, because I was like very scared. But like I know like now I wish I could go and apologize to him, because it's like he didn't deserve that. But like I was asking him all this stuff. I'm like, you better make sure I wake up, blah 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 blah. So then they I remember they just like put this thing on me, and then like my whole, like I don't know, I just like went we land. And then I remember I woke up and I was like, what the fuck, like where am I? And then like I woke up and like I see these like bright lights, and like and then I tried to like move, and I had a catheter like right on my belly. Oh my god, it was like the worst pain. So I start screaming because I always think I'm being kidnapped, and I'm not gonna put this in the universe. I'm never gonna be kidnapped, never, ever, ever. But I'm thinking like, oh my god, am I kidnapped? Did they just take my organs? Like, that's how I used to think, you know. And then I'm just like, oh my god. And then like I was like, I don't know why I scream. Like, if I'm thinking about being kidnapped, why am I gonna scream? Like, duh, I should just be quiet and examine everything until everything works out. So I started screaming. The nurse comes and she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm being kidnapped. I'm being kidnapped. Oh my god, are you my kidnapper? And she was like, no, I'm your nurse. Like, you just had like an emergency surgery, so you need to like be okay. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And then I was like, after I asked like, oh my god, I need medicine. I'm in so much pain. Da, da, da. They gave me medicine. I went back to sleep. And then my boyfriend came. He came with like balloons, flowers. Ex-boyfriend. He came with balloons, flowers, the whole 9 yards. And then he was just like, oh my god, how are you doing? And then I was like, oh my god, I could not talk. Like, I could barely speak. And I was like, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening to me? So like, I was so scared. So then the doctor ends up coming in, and he was like, well, you just had an appendectomy, da, 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 whatever. My parents came to visit me from Connecticut. And then I was just like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening. So then I had to like, it was so traumatic, you guys, because like I had to learn how to like breathe again, like breathe really properly, because then I'll have like pneumonia. I had to learn how to like move my organs. Like, it was just like weird. I could barely move. I was like in the catheter for like 3-4 days or something like that. And then like I had the biggest argument with my ex-boyfriend, and he fucking just left me. He left me in the motherfucking hospital. And I'm like, dude, because he was just like finding every freaking reason to just like argue. And I'm just like, usually I will argue and I always start fights and stuff, but I'm like, I'm trying to focus on my breathing. Like, he would talk to me and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to focus on my breathing. Like, I don't want to have a conversation. I can barely fucking speak right now. And like, this is crazy. And so then the doctor came back in, and he was just like, oh my god, you do not understand what happened. He got some scan or whatever. I don't know if it was a CAT scan or some type of thing. And he was like, your appendix ruptured for 3 days straight. I am so like glad that you like, I don't know, he was telling me like, he's like, I'm so glad you're alive. Like, we need, because like, you know how you're not supposed to like eat anything, you're supposed to just, they put you on a soup diet and blah blah blah. And he was like, I need to get you off the soup diet. Just drink strictly water and like ice, and just put it over your lips. And he was like, because I need to make sure that no other thing goes wrong. And then he was telling me that there was so much pus all over my body that I had to go back again, because my kidneys might be like affected, because like it's been 3 days, and like I think the pus of it was like, I don't know if it was hot or something, but it might have affected my kidneys. So he said we need to go for another flush. And I'm like, my nigga, I didn't even like, I was like, I can't even like pee on my own, and you want me to go back in there? So I had to go back in there, and then like they did whatever the hell they did with my kidney, because they said that when they checked it, it had like because I don't know if the pus was like hot or something was hot, that it was like breaking like my kidney thing. So they had to like do the flushing and doing all that stuff, and like prepare like the kidney again and do all this weird stuff, and then take me back. And then now, this is the second time in a freaking row that they shut down my body. And I had to relearn how to freaking breathe again. And then now my boyfriend already fucking left me because we got into an argument. He just freaking not picked up my phone calls. Fucking asshole. And then my parents, like, because I was living in New York at the time. So it's like my parents are all the way in fucking Connecticut. So they can't come back and forth like every freaking day or whatever. Because, you know, like, it was annoying. And then I had no fucking friends because everyone was fucking fake. And then I had to deal with this shit by myself. I was so emotional, you guys, like so emotional. So like I had to rebreathe, which was like the hardest thing, because like they gave me this little tube, and then like I had to like breathe like again, like just like breathe, and it has like little sectors. And then like the nurse was so fucking asshole. And like, I only had one nurse who was good to me, because I'm sorry, you guys, I'm a little hard to deal with, especially when I'm in like, my pain tolerance is like so like I can't deal with it. Like, I can't even deal with a little like pinch. Like, I can't. So like, the pain I was in, and I felt so bad because I was giving them attitude because they had to freaking give me a shower. Like, I can't do it myself. I'm too busy trying to freaking learn how to breathe. But now now that I think back on it, it's like, damn, I should have been a little nicer. But at that time, I'm just like, dude, I need to take a shower. I wanted to feel normal. So I was in the hospital for over a month. Like, it was like the most hardest thing like I'd ever do. And I had to learn how to walk again, learn how to breathe again, learn how to like do basic stuff again. Like, it was crazy. Like, for for an appendix being ruptured. And I was just like, when I was Googling it, it just said like, people get an appendix, they go home. And I'm like, yo, why did this have to happen to me? But at that time, I was like self-reflecting. And I always asked the doctor, like, how does this happen? So I took the time and the liberty, 3 years later, to research why the appendix ruptures. First, it has to do, like, this is my opinion, you guys. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not like certified or whatever. By my prediction of what I feel happens when your appendix ruptures is because you have poor diet, and you have a lot of backed up feces in your colon, like your large intestines. And if sometimes it might be backed up for years, so you have a lot of backed up poop that you have to like take out. So if you have poor diet, it lasts longer, and it gets like, the feces last longer. And then, you know, we have parasites in our body, so it's just like a bunch of toxins, parasites and stuff like that. So incorporating with your poor diet, it just makes things worse. And sometimes when it's so backed up, like with the large intestines, you know how like the large intestines connects to the little the appendix that's down there. Sometimes it's so backed up that it might end up falling on your appendix. And when it falls, it automatically enlarges. Like, it automatically like compresses, because your appendix is this little, and then like a poop is falling in, it just like compresses. And sometimes if you compress for too long and like you feel that pain, like if you've ever had appendix, like whatever, like appendicitis, if you've ever had that, you feel that like excruciating pain. Sometimes people, like, you know, like they take, I don't know if they take it out, I don't know the procedure of that, if they just like take out your entire appendix or take out whatever, but like they just take it out because now it's inflamed. And sometimes it, like, the poop is just so in there that it just bursts out because you have a poor diet. And after that, like, and when it ruptures, it's like a bunch of pus, because it's like built up pus, feces, bunch of parasites, everything just starts to flood all over your body. Because like, if we're standing like this, your body is just like this, like all your organs are so connected. So I feel like it went through my kidneys really closely, because it was so close, and it probably ruptured all the way up. And the only time I could do anything is when I was laying down, going this way, going that way, and like, I don't know what happened. But that's my theory. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not certified, but I've done a lot of research, because like, you do the research, you go 1, 2, 3 pages and it won't tell you anything. But I researched this for 3 years, and that's my opinion of how I feel it happened. So even though it was like really traumatic, it ended up changing me to be a vegan, and now I get regular colonics. Like, we have 10 to 20 feet, like your colon is 10 to 20 feet as big as your body. So you have to, like, if it's not a colonic and you feel like it's too much machines and stuff, like, I wouldn't then if you want to, I would recommend colonics, because I get colonics. But people feel like, oh, it's too much machines, too much this, it's in your anus and da da da, and they don't want to do that. So then we do have there are also detox cleanses, like colon cleanses that you could do, and I could show you like different remedies in my other videos. But you can do a detox cleanse, like a poop detox cleanse, that you could like remove a lot of backed up feces, a lot of parasites, a lot of tapeworms, a lot of just messed up stuff in your body. You can move all that stuff, and it might take a little while because it's 10 to 20, literally so big, like your large intestines. But that's the research that I got. So that's why I became like full-blown vegan. And that was my experience. It was like the worst because it was bittersweet for me, because I learned who my real friends are, who really is down for me, and who would really like be there for me when things get rough. I also learned I had to do a self check out for my attitude. I learned so much about patience, and I learned how to take care of my body more, and like I expanded my research. So this is strictly based on my opinion. I don't know how it works, but this is my opinion and how I feel the appendicitis ends up creating. So I hope you guys like my video, subscribe, and subscribe and comment, and just let me know how you feel your appendix, like what happened and what do you feel happened. And you can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. It's going to be on the link below, and I'm going to put it on the site too. So I hope you guys have a really great day, and bye.